Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor Campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video on sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And I was just watching the brothers of MOV Jersey, and they was going into end-time prophecy, of course, and they were going into taking a deep dive into the famine, okay? And it just gave you perspective because we read about the salmon in Samaria, the famine in Samaria, Salakia, and how bad that was, where these women were eating their children. You go into the council with the king. The one woman hid her child and whatnot. And that's something that's coming back in a major way, all right? And it's going to be something that won't just be on pages on the screen, but rather it's going to be a reality, okay, in certain parts, especially of America, where these women, who are supposed to love their children, it'll get to a point where they haven't eaten, and their solution will be to eat children. And the brothers was going into the fact that, human flesh doesn't smell good. They say it resembles more like pork when it's roasted. And I've been in kitchens and smell, and that's one of the most putrid fucking smells that you can experience, like as far as human flesh. Like when lamb is roasting, lamb smells amazing. Even beef, hell, even chicken. When you're roasting unclean meat, unclean animals, it doesn't smell good, okay? And you ain't supposed to be eating human, all right? But that's the spirit that the Lord is going to put on the earth because of the famine, because of their pride, because Jake didn't want to listen, and famine is a major killer of pride. How can you be prideful? How can you be proud when your stomach is touching your back, man? And that's really not even what happens. Really, you get frail and your stomach puffs out like they do, like them Hamite kids, man, in Africa, when they show them on TV. All right, but you people haven't experienced true famine. You people haven't experienced going weeks without food, man, because the average person can survive about a month without language. I don't know if that's the case now, but here's the thing: when people in their mind, the brain does something funny. When in your mind, that there's no food accessible, you're hungry, okay? If you got a bunch of food and you haven't eaten, you might not be hungry because there's food. It's a psychology thing. But when there's no food and you're hungry, your brain is like, oh shit, I want to eat. And these people have already been conditioned for decades to live off 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which was all a money grab. Really, you don't need to eat that fucking much, and brothers have been working on that. Brothers intermit fast. Brothers have learned to fast, not to deny our flesh. We could work on it more, but we're training our minds to not be so reactionary once food instability hits, because it is going to hit. But we also trust that the Lord said he's going to feed us, which leads me to this scripture right here. This wasn't going to be a long lesson. I definitely wanted to touch on this heavy topic of famine. All right, but the Lord said he's going to protect us. He said he's going to feed us. So this hits at home. This is Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 12. It said, therefore will I number you to the sword, right? And that, hey, who's the sword right? And who's the active sword right now? It's Esau's ass, man. It says, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Yeah, they're going to have troops on the ground. They're going to be gathering people up, especially when it's time to implement that MOTB. All right, but you're also going to have militias out here that are controlling resources. Women are going to be a major target. Women are going to become the possession that they always claimed they weren't. Traded for food, traded for supplies and shit, man. These women wanted to be whores. They wanted to have their hoe phase. All right, now you about to have it, but you don't get to choose. All right, who lays with you, man? All right, this is real deal. And that's why they're going to want to seek a man of Yahweh Shemel Shah, because we don't move like that. It says, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear. How did the Lord speak? Through the mouth of his prophets. But did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus said the Lord, power Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. See? So, y'all are out here about to, it don't matter how much money you got, your food pantry, whatever. The Lord gonna have it set up to where you're not gonna be able to get to those things when it's time for you to get to them if you haven't done what you needed to do for the Lord, which most of these haven't. Most of these people haven't. So they're about to be in a horrible case. Meanwhile, the Lord is gonna show brothers are gonna be nourished, brothers are gonna be good. Hey, the scripture says that shall be merry and have abundance. What does that look like? More than you need. And that's where Isaiah 4:1 is gonna come in, because they're gonna see that we have the resources, and they're gonna be like, oh, I want to get with this guy. I need to be around him. So that's how the Lord is setting it up, man. Isaiah 4:1. The Lord is going to make a man more precious than fine gold. We're seeing how the Lord is going to set that up. The Lord is going to lead us to where, the food is. The Lord is going to deliver us food in miraculous fashions. We have to have faith in that, man. All right? It says, behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Man, y'all going to be ashamed. Y'all going to be out here through. Because pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And you women are proud as hell. You men are proud as hell, man. When it say this isn't about us. Verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right, yeah, it's about to be y'all about to be in a fucked up case, man. That's all I'm gonna say. So just quick lesson through the spirit. Lord willing is edifying. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Akakradash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, shalom.